Back.
Oh, we are back. What are you sleeping already?
Sorry, we're back.
Come on, you know this is my favorite show that comes out on Tuesdays, mostly because things on Disney Plus come out on Wednesdays. Other than that, I only watch shows on Tuesdays, and this is my favorite one of all of those. So if you know us, then you know that we are Some Nobodies. My name is Zach. This is Dylan over here. Boop, 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 boop. And what we do is we make up stuff. We lie to each other and giggle about it, and then write it down and try to get our people to giggle about it. But yeah, so we make a bunch of podcasts, we make a bunch of weird stuff, and we have a show called Talking UpStream. And in that show, what we do is we find our favorite creators and we interview them. We chat about why they do what they do and how they do what they do, and then we pitch them an idea that we've come up with, and then together we kind of create something, but really just keep interviews going. But we made up a whole bunch of stuff. There's like 60 plus episodes on our YouTube channel, so go check out those. But we made up so much stuff. We're like, hey, let's just keep making up more stuff about the things we've already made up. Let's just keep those lies, going. Like they say, most lies are webs, right? And we are spiders of content. And we, hey, fight it if you want.
No, I'm not going to. That is a perfect analogy.
All right, yeah. So welcome back to the spiders of content.
Come get stuck in our ideas.
And what we do on here is we take one of those ideas and we continue to make it something. Usually after I talk to Dylan about something that only I have interest in. Last week, if you remember, I started the show by having a couple 1-star reviews that I found for a couple MCU movies, just to see if Dylan would like that. I don't want to waste all my time for things that Dylan just scoffs at. So I'm going to continue that. Before I get into any of that, Dylan, my friend, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you, Zach?
I'm doing real well.
All right.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Okay, so actually, before anything goes, if you like our show, if you like podcasts, if you like giving to charity, if you like helping to raise some funds, if you like being a good person to people that are less fortunate, this Friday, the awesome dudes, McManhattan and Casey over at Scene Snobs, they're putting on their yearly Fundathon. Now, this one is a 12-hour Fundathon. Comes out this Friday, July 22nd. Starts at 12 p.m. Eastern, and it goes on till midnight. We have 2 shows on there. You can find No Time to Binge, award-winning No Time to Binge. That'll be on around 2 p.m. Eastern. Then you can find our other favorite self-award-winning show, PowerPoint Showdown. That'll be on at 5:30 Eastern. But yeah, so if you want to check out some cool stuff, there are great shows. It's called Casters for a Cause, 12-hour fundathon for charity. It's going to go for the World Central Kitchen and Sandy Hook Promise. So a lot of good people looking for some money. And I'm going to talk about that again later. If you have any question, put in the chat. Like anything else, put in the chat because we like hearing stuff. Okay, so what I did this time was I found out that Letterboxd does half-star reviews, Dylan. I took the first 23 movies from the first 3 phases of the MCU, and I found funny-ish half-star reviews. Now, to figure out which ones I'm going to do, I also found a dice that has 23 sides. So I'm going to roll a dice. It's on... Listen, we have award shows and we have shows, and I can't help it that Dylan submits to our own award shows. All right, so we got a dice that has 23 sides on it. I'm going to roll the dice, and then whatever this says, I'm going to read the half-star review for that MCU movie, and tell me if you can figure it out. All right,
I'm ready.
So, dice roll. Here we go. 1-star review. In high school, this felt like the coolest movie ever. A decade removed, the rosy glasses of optimism forcefully ripped away by the nonstop barrage of defeat and humiliation. In the complete denial of an alternative to a culture that is a victory lap of neoliberal American hegemony, as life begins so desperate and disgusting and disenfranchised, it is no longer distinguishable from nightmares. This movie serves as a clarion call, the trumpets to announce the world under the triumph of death. More than anything, this movie betrays the very art of filmmaking, using the illusion of motion, not to benefit a narrative arc, but to deeply detract from the static nature of sequential art, making the earnest and simple joys of comic books into a purely fascist pageant of the status quo. There is no history, there is no past, there is no future. Everyone is a loser, everyone is a winner, nothing matters, everyone is saved, everyone is damned.
Synecdoche, New York? I didn't know we were doing Andy Kaufman movie or Charlie Kaufman movies. No.
This movie came out in 2012.
Not Civil War. Captain America 2, Cold Soldier.
That was the Avengers.
Really?
That was the Avengers in a nonstop barrage of a review.
Might be reading into some stuff there, but yeah, sure.
But not all that long. All right, next roll. Let's see here. Okay. Last time I watched this movie was also the first time I watched it 7 years ago. I came out of the theater so angry and disappointed that I never watched it again. It dulled the shine on several characters I had loved previously, and I had some startling, terrible writing choices. It sent a teenage me reeling. 7 years later, my feeling still stands. This is barely a movie. The few charming or funny moments are weighed down by the mass of dull, ugly garbage surrounds them. Just absolutely wretched. I'm not angry after watching this. My passion for Marvel much dulled over the years, but it still does not go down easy. Half a star dedicated to Vision.
Is this Civil War?
This is Age of Ultron.
Jeez, that was my second guess. I mean, you're not wrong, I suppose, on that one.
Yeah, that's a tough one. All right. We got another roll. This is a short one.
Okay.
An uninteresting, unlikable character who never grows or learns a lesson takes on a galaxy-level threat, all while spewing cringy dialogue and giving a forgettable performance. This is the movie that drags down the reputation of so many other Marvel films.
I just want to say that all of these woke SJWs who really like Captain Marvel are wrong.
Nice. All right.
Oh, man.
Good job. All right, next roll. Let's see. And whenever you're done with this, let me know.
Oh, no, I'm having a good time.
All right. Roll's done.
Red Flanagan does want to know, are these supposed to be Phase 1 movies? No, they are all pre-Endgame movies.
Yeah, the first 3 phases.
1, 2, 3 phase.
1, 2, 3 phases. Okay, half star. Looking at it from the retrospective and scientific point of view, this movie isn't very realistic at all. It gives a target audience false hope of becoming this character. I feel like people need to have standards of realism and finally wake up and get real. I'm very disappointed many people have been injured trying to replicate these childish stunts. The least you could do is put a "don't try this at home" or school or anywhere. Like, come on, guys.
Spider-Man Homecoming? It's the only one I can think of with stunts that people would try to replicate.
This was Iron Man 1.
Really?
This gives the target audience false hope of becoming Iron Man. I think it might be hyperbolic. I'm not sure.
A little bit.
All right, let's see. Next roll. All right, we're done. Half star. This movie is pure pro-America war propaganda. Everything from the good TM hero who can't do anything wrong to the demonized villain with no real motive except destruction gives me a headache. The glittering generalities, testimonials, and name-calling is plucked straight from the New York Institute of Propaganda Analysis. But hey, at least they're not trying to hide it.
I mean, that sounds like Captain America 1.
That is Captain America 1.
Okay.
Yeah, right on. All right, let's see. Next roll is done.
Yeah.
Okay. Half star. This film is easily the most forgettable MCU movie to date. I've seen this movie 3 separate times, 2 of those being in the theater, and I can honestly only remember liking Jimmy Woo. Everything else is a blur. Wait, is Lawrence Fishburne in this?
It's Ant-Man 2.
Ant-Man 2?
Yes.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, sure.
Ant-Man, Ant-Man the Wasp, and you. All right. Roll is done. Half star. I was ready for a fairly good one, but it was so boring that I turned it off. Oh, the last one was written. I mean, that's their Hydra sympathizer 007. Okay, here we go. Half star. I was ready for a fairly good one, but it was so boring that I turned it off about 2/3 of the way through the film. Maybe I shouldn't be writing a review on it because of that, but I've just got to say, I have almost never been so disengaged during a movie. It was overly complicated and confusing, and it felt like one long chase scene. I very rarely turn off a movie, even if it's bad. At least I waited out to the end. I didn't even want to waste my time with any more of this one. Letterboxd won't give me 0 stars, so I have to give half a point by default just because Samuel L. Jackson was in it, I guess.
One long chase scene. That sounds like... Let's see. You already read one for Ultron.
I did.
Black Panther?
Nope.
No, it's the only one I can think of with like actual chase scenes in and off the top of my head.
Well, you're pretty close. It's the introduction of Black Panther, aka the Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
that is one long chase scene that.
Sure.
All right, let's see. Next roll is done. Okay. Half star. Anthony Stark is my nemesis. I literally hate the nuclear arms race plotline so much because it feels like it legitimizes his logic. Like they're siding with the U.S. should have nukes in the larger real world debate. Additionally, posting it as a conflict between a tech billionaire and U.S. government where one side must win and there's no other possibilities. It's so myopic and self-absorbed, like he has no consciousness for the real people besides himself. Natasha and Pepper's character feel like sexy lamps here. No agency whatsoever. The way military tech is presented feels so glorifying. Yucky, ick, yucky, yuck. These movies cause me psychic damage.
I mean, if you have issues with the military propaganda in Iron Man 2, then you should have issues with the military propaganda in every Marvel movie and every DC movie.
That is fair.
Yeah,
right on. All right, next roll is done. Half star. Marvel movies are for the sheeple. There isn't even an excuse for consuming these because it's not even entertaining anymore. There's nothing compelling about the story. There's no development, and there's poor acting performances all around. Especially main star, who is a damp blanket in this. I can't comprehend how this could be enjoyable to anyone with sentience or anyone over the age of 13. I wish Marvel would learn how to rate multi-dimensional beings.
Oh, it's Doctor Strange.
No.
Or Thor 2.
Incorrect.
Or multi-dimensional. Galaxy Guardians 2?
Nope.
I don't know.
It is Ant-Man 1.
Multi-dimensional. Oh, yeah. I took that literally, like
I know.
Like, yeah, you know, like as in from multiple dimensions and not like well-rounded.
I know, that's why I'm going to get him with this one. Okay, roll is done. Half star. The Eat, Pray, Love of the MCU. A movie with surrealist elements as imagined by the most boring people in the universe. When this movie came out, it was real contingency that was like, yeah, I know we're concerned about racism, but these fucking buildings.
The Eternals?
No.
Eat, Pray, Love. Concerned with racism, but these buildings. I mean, Black Panther?
No. Racism and buildings. It is Doctor Strange, my friend.
Really?
Well, yeah, the buildings, dude.
Oh, and like racism because they cast Tilda Swinton as the ancient one. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right, next
Zach,
one.
Hold on. I have a question for you from the audience. JTE987 asks, LOL, random survey question. Have you ever given someone a wedgie before or gotten one? Crying, laughing, smiley.
Yeah, I have. I've given exactly 3 wedgies. I can remember every single one of them. And I have received, I think, 1 wedgie that was real. There's a couple fake wedgies when you're working in the restaurant business where people are just grabbing your shit. But I remember in high school there was a guy named David Marsh, and he was on a football team, and he legitimately gave me a wedgie, and with the purpose of ripping my underwear. So, yeah. And about the 3 wedgies I've given, I'm not going to talk about that.
Okay.
How about you, Dylan?
The only wedgies I've ever been involved in on either side are ironic. Ironic. You give your friends a wedgie, and
yeah. No,
JTEE987 says, "Haha, it's for a school project on sibling rivalry." A lot of people said they've done that to their little brothers or cousins and nephews/sons.
I've never done it with any cousins. I've never done it with any nephews or sons. I've never done it with any brothers. I have done it with strangers, and I've had it done to me in high school.
I grew up with sisters, and I learned don't pick on them.
No. Also, don't snap bras. That's stupid.
No, yeah. And Red Flanagan asks, the real question is how many wedgies Captain America is given. I feel like we need several over-the-top comic panels with Nazis getting bullied. Hulk would also be a fun one.
Yeah, so it is canonical that Captain America has given exactly 1 wedgie, and it was to a little Halloweener who was dressed up as Himmler. And
wait, really?
No.
Oh, okay. This sounds like something from the Silver Age comics that only you on Earth would recognize.
I on Earth would have recognized that. Is that all the wedgie comments we have for right now?
I think so. Yeah, we can continue on with the quiz.
Okay, if anyone has any more wedgie comments, I'm an open book.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Half star. A terrible sequel that manages to undercut all the character development seen in the first, yet only set a few months after. The dialogue is mostly one-liners and over-the-top laughter, like a bad laugh track from a 90s sitcom. And any moments that carry emotional weight are ruined by the constant need to make it funny.
It sounds like every sequel that Marvel's ever done, but I'm going to guess Guardians 2.
It was Guardians 2.
Yeah, okay.
Good job.
I remember Guardians 2 specifically having a lot of issues with letting their emotional stuff sit before Drax did something wacky in the background.
Boy, did he do some wacky stuff.
Yeah.
Like sometimes he didn't move.
He's eating chips. Look at him. Isn't it funny how he eats chips very slowly at inappropriate times?
Are you ready for the next one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Half star. Who are these characters? Large confusion. Where happened before? Why first movie and no explanation? Bad story, not making sense. Long length, not to say why anything, and people showing at random. Who are people? Why green? Rudd guy, why? Where before this? Frustrating scene. All time talk to wife. She is same in thinking. Worst movie scene. Not good for watching.
Oh my God, it's you giving a presentation I made on PowerPoint Showdown. I mean, it sounds like Eternals again, but I'm going to guess not Iron Man, Ant-Man 1.
It's Avengers Endgame.
Really?
Who are these
Why
characters?
Rudman?
Could you imagine if this was the first movie of the MCU you watched was Endgame?
Oh, man. Yeah, I can imagine, actually. I'm sure that I probably know a few people.
All right. You want another one?
Yeah.
All right. Half star.
Let's do 2 more.
All right. 2 more. Half star. Cons. 1. Boring as fuck. 2. Most forgettable movie villain. 3. The narration at the start was so fucking dry. 4. Unfunny. 5. Predictable. 6. Surprisingly bad special effects. 7. Bad acting and dialogue. 8. Generic characters. 9. Fake shit out death. Okay. 10. Bland cinematography, editing, music, etc. Pros. 1.
This is Thor 2: The Dark World.
That is exactly Thor 2: The Dark World.
I mean, yeah, I would levy those exact same criticisms.
Let's see. All right, one more. Okay. Half star. This is the last one for today.
Okay.
I was in a desert and didn't want to lay on my cot in a steel building and listen to that kid on the other side of the curtain masturbate and fart all day. So I saw this movie for $1 twice. Am I the only person who thinks it's a human rights violation for them to turn the camera on and film that fat kid who played Ned and convince him he's an actor? I want my $1 back. I said $1 because I fell asleep in dark air conditioning the first time, and it was worth $1 alone.
Homecoming? Spider-Man Homecoming?
Far From Home.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the other one.
Yeah.
Aww.
He was set up in the desert. What a piece of shit. Anyway, if you go on Letterboxd, there's a lot of weird half-star reviews. And if people like this, then I'm going to keep going with this in different series. So let me know in the comments how you feel. or if you want to know more about wedgies.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so what we're going to do, like we always do on the show, is we're just going to make up some stuff. Last episode, we finished up Creature of Habit, which was an idea that we came up with a while ago. And now Dylan's going to tell us what we're going to do starting now.
Yeah, so we're starting a new project this week. We don't have an official title for it, unless Zach put one on the title card I didn't see. Hold on. No. Okay, cool. I just needed to refresh my memory. Yeah, so we finished up Creature of Habit, the werewolf story, and we decided to do the one that Zach pitched and got selected for. I usually have better notes than this. It was one of the episodes we did in season 2 with one of the guests that we had.
Okay. We definitely had guests in season 2.
Yeah. And the idea is that there is a secondary, like, Earth-like planet orbiting the sun opposite of Earth. And it's owned by a prison or corporation.
Yeah.
And it's getting nicer than Earth. And so they're more technologically advanced. And so Earth wants it, but they don't want to be taken by Earth. And the reason that this is so halting is because we don't have a whole lot about it written down yet. Here's our development document showing a bunch of ideas that we kind of threw out at the end of the last episode.
Okay.
Those ideas are, and I'm just going to read these through. This is just ideas we had. We're not committed to anything here. Another planetary body captured by the sun's gravity in an opposite orbit than Earth. Due to environmental and ethical standards, technology has advanced at a higher rate than Earth. Sure. A Megacorp shoots something into a singularity, and then they use a time acceleration to develop sci-fi tech. I think that was an excuse as to why their tech is so much better. Red Flanagan says, new show format. Dylan makes the premise, Zach makes the title, no communication. When the show starts, both are revealed and must be reconciled to make sense in the writing process.
I love it.
It's not bad, and we unintentionally practiced the no communication thing this weekend, but that was out of our hands. Other idea. A Megacorp has taken ownership of the asteroid and runs it outside Earth's jurisdiction. They take a lot of Earth's prisoners for ... reasons, allegedly for prison, but we mentioned ethical concerns, ethical standards up here, so it might be experimentation.
Okay.
Eventually, it turns out the prison turns out better than Earth, unbeknownst to Earth. The asteroid is habitable by default, which meant maybe it had an atmosphere and was frozen by space, and when it settled into orbit around the sun, it thawed or something like that. We'll play fast and loose with the physics because neither one of us are physicists.
Speak for yourself, my friend.
I do. Every time the other planet comes near Earth, it steals some water and atmosphere.
Yeah.
Or they're just a pair that are orbit close to each other.
That's not bad, too.
An idea, the prison population was sent to establish infrastructure, but sabotaged. So only the infrastructure was intended to remain. They were sent there as disposable workforce so that they could build it up and then die and then leave everything to them.
Yeah.
Or sci-fi magic results in accelerated time.
Yeah. Okay, so I think the main premise is that there's 2 Earths roughly in the same orbit. If you wanted to get down into like the physics of why it has atmosphere, I mean, obviously there is that one like thought that it, smashed into like an ice thing and just grabbed water, right? And then once it heated up, or it, kind of went through Jupiter, grabbed some atmosphere or something. I don't know. I'm not sure how that works. We're not scientists. What are they called?
Scientists?
Oh yeah. We're not that.
I mean, they're usually called their names, but.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not Dylan and he's not Zach, so we don't know much about that.
No.
Okay. So I do like the fact that there's just 2 roughly the same size habitable planets in the same orbit, right? I do kind of like the idea of them being closer together. I don't think that can be possible, right? Because it would like take the water.
Well, yeah, that was my thought last week, was that it like gets close enough that it has a higher gravity for something, maybe has a denser core or something, and it skims atmosphere off Earth every time it comes by. But I mean, there's so much more, I'm sure, that we're not considering.
So it's not in Earth's orbit?
It's in like a weird like Neptune Uranus orbit where they kind of cross over every year or so.
Oh, that's kind of interesting. I don't mind that, but I guess my first thought was that it was just on the other side of the sun where we couldn't see it.
Right. No, that's cool too. Yeah.
Yeah. That way, however it goes, we don't really know. So I think I kind of like that a little more.
Okay. My only thing why I had recommended that idea is that it makes Earth consistently less desirable to live on. So that would potentially explain why people are trying to get off Earth to hop over. They don't have to do that though.
Well, I also kind of like that, because if it were known as a prison planet, then eventually people had to get on and be like, well, we can go to the other planet, but there's all these prisoners over there, you know? So that actually might make some cool conflict too. So why don't we say that? Why don't we say that it's in that dual orbiting, similar to like you said, Neptune and Uranus? Because I think that's cool. And I like that, like, every so many years it gets close enough that it just siphons off a little bit of the water, a little bit of the atmosphere. And this is like years and years later, right?
Yeah.
And so we've just been, we tried to cut down on jail systems here. And if you get in prison, they just decided to just kind of plop you in space, and then you get shot to Earth too. And you're supposed to, I guess what we would think is that they had built that infrastructure, like somebody had gone there to build shit before, but
yeah,
I almost kind of like, it's like, look, there's not even like a building here. Like, you just go there and live. You can live, do whatever you want. You know,
you get nothing to start. You get dropped off.
Yeah.
So it's like Fortnite.
Yeah, and I like that. And
Fortnite planet.
Fortnite, the planet. Now, do you think that it should have a different time variance over there? Like, you know, kind of like when you're on some planets, you age faster than others.
We could, yeah.
Because I like whenever people get there, it's like no one really knows what it's like over there. Because by the time you get there, it's years later than anyone knows about. So like, it's always crazy.
Usually the reason for that, like, kind of time dilation is due to speed of the planet moving. So like when you're in the ISS, they age very, very, very slightly slower than people on the planet.
Yeah.
Or due to the influence of gravity, such as if you're close to a supermassive black hole.
So if this planet moved faster than the Earth, it would
need to be really fast. But
like,
I mean, we can
like cheetah speed,
like
ostrich speed,
like cheetah speed on the scale of like a galaxy.
Oh, galaxy cheetahs. Thinking of Fortnite before Battle Royale results in a fine of 5 film hipster points.
Thinking that Fortnite is a film results in a fine of 1 pedant point. So take that, Red.
Dang, I don't. That's some serious dissing right there.
They call me dysentery.
Hey, special shout out to Red Flanagan, who is one of the few people that can put Dylan in his place. Okay.
Yeah, actually.
So I don't. It doesn't really need to be a different time.
What can I ask why you want a time acceleration like element?
Well, I wanted there to be the unknown of what happens when you get there. I wanted it to be if people were there building stuff, it would have been like hundreds of years ago. You know, so that was my main thing, was like, I wanted like people to go there and be like, all right, well, whatever, this is a prison. And then they get there and it's just like all overgrown and, you know, weird.
Yeah.
But I guess that would just kind of happen anyway, because no one's going to go there and build shit.
What if it's like this weird planet that has a super long, like, elliptical orbit where like every 10 years, it's so long that it like takes 10 years to go around the sun, and the sun is like off center inside the oval. So that way, like, it spends like 8 years kind of out of the solar system, and then for like a year and a half, it comes swooping back in around the sun.
That seems like it's going to get real cold.
It would get real cold, but they got technology. But then you have your like, wow, everything on this planet, it came back around for the, you know, we said it was going to happen. We said everybody was going to die because it goes out of the solar system. It happened. But wait, something's weird about how everybody died.
I don't know. It seems like if it goes out of the solar system, it's going to get like real cold.
It would. Yeah.
And probably loses atmosphere, right?
I think the atmosphere is held in based on like the magnetosphere. Like, it's like the planet holds the atmosphere.
Yeah, but the only reason the planet spins is because it's in orbit.
No, planets rotate regardless. most of the time. Like planets, rotation is independent of orbit.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Planet rotation independent.
What? Why would it rotate? It would have to be going around something. Now, once again, let's preface this conversation by saying I'm no physicist.
I'm no scientist.
But I would feel that if something is just out in space, not around anything, it's not going to be spinning for no reason.
Does a planet's rotation have anything to do with its orbit? Does rotation affect orbit? None of these are the questions I'm looking for. Not really.
Well, then what makes it spin? Is
I'm
the
looking
moon?
at
It's not the
Wikipedia.
moon.
No, it's not the moon. It's leftover like momentum from the formation of the planet.
Yeah, but the formation of the planet is because it spins around the sun and collects shit. Yeah.
The result is the result of the initial rotation of the cloud of gas and dust that condensed to form the sun and planets.
Oh, so it's the making of itself that causes the rotation.
Yeah,
All
we're
right,
still spinning from when we were formed.
All right, well, that's fair then. I
don't know. It was a hypothetical thing. We don't have to do it.
I mean,
It's fine. I'm not mad.
I do like it maybe going through like two planets. You know, like if it goes outside of Mars and it comes like inside of Earth.
Okay.
That way it's kind of far enough away where it's like we don't know what the hell this thing is doing.
I think we're getting a little far away from your initial idea, though.
Yeah, true.
So we got.
I like it just to be in the same orbit, or
cool.
it's like a very close orbit. Because I do like the idea of it getting close enough that it's like pulling a little bit of water away, that it's pulling a little bit of atmosphere away. I think that's a cool idea.
Cool.
But enough that like when they first started, it's like it's a negligible amount.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, it's actually Earth is bad.
Our initial calculations were incorrect. You know, the Roland Emmerich thing where it's like it's going to happen sooner than we predicted.
Oh, and I think I also wanted time dilation because I wanted there to be like a dad who goes to jail, right, and leaves his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
But then the daughter grows up. But then I was like, well, shit, that's Tomorrow War. And I don't want to deal with that.
It's Tomorrow War. It's a lot. It's a time travel trope. Yeah.
Right. But
it's interstellar.
All right, fine. Let's just forget that then. Okay, so let's try to build up the reasons people go to this planet, right? And it's because we've decided that the prisons are bad because they're privatized, and so we have to start getting rid of some prisons. The U.S. maybe bought like a country to make that like a prison country.
Sure.
And
it's bought Cuba. They turned Cuba into Guantanamo.
Yeah, it's a huge gitmo there. And that seemed to be like a thing because it wasn't so much that they were stuck in a prison. It was just they were kind of removed from our community without coming back to this community. And somewhere along the lines, the people that owned the prisons, right? I guess at some point in this future, it's like Amazon or Walmart that owns the
Megacorp.
Right? So Walmart dumped all the prisons. They sold all their prisons because they bought this celestial, just being that's in the sky, which is like a planet.
Yeah.
And they invested in the planet before it came into orbit somehow. Remember, like we did that one thing where it's like people would want all the gold on a planet?
Maybe.
It was like, oh wait, no, that was that movie. That was an actual movie with Leonardo DiCaprio in it, where they didn't want to destroy the meteor because they found out that it was worth more money undestroyed.
Is it Don't Look Up?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Okay. So they find out that like it's worth more than prisons, right? So they make a deal with the whole world. And it's like, look, we'll sell all the prisons that Walmart owns, but we get that planet when whatever happens to it. And it hits some other planet, slows it down enough to just plop into our orbit, and it's just on the other side.
Yeah.
So cool. At Walmart, Sam's Planet.
Samstroid.
Now, Walmart sent people over there first to be like a production thing. because those idiots at Walmart thought there'd be a time dilation where they could make things faster over there, ship it here, right?
Yeah.
Because that'd be something that, like a Walmart, a big corp would do.
Yeah. They try to turn it into like a manufacturing production hub.
Yeah, especially if the time dilation is different, because they could manufacture it faster and sell it faster.
Cool. Yeah.
I don't know how we can get to this point, but at some point, Cuba fills up with prisoners because the U.S. has a lot of cops. Cops gotta arrest people, obviously. So Cuba fills up, and Walmart's like, so maybe the world looks at Walmart like, we need your help again. We need to reopen prisons. But they're like, no, how about we just ship them to this planet? We'll pay them, make them do all of our work. You know, we'll give them a healthy wage and insurance. And
I don't think people on Earth would like that.
I mean, you can go there if you want.
I mean, it sounded okay.
Well, yeah, but the only problem is when you get there, there's no buildings. It's just people. It's like the Wild West.
How are they manufacturing anything?
They're not.
Oh, that's a lie?
That's why they initially got it to do all the manufacturing, build it up to be manufacturing, but the time dilation worked in the opposite effect than what they thought. So it actually took them twice as long to make shit than what they usually had. So it was a net loss.
Yeah. All right.
Well, help me out here. We got to get there.
So I think Megacorp is just like, hey, give us your prison contracts and we'll send all of them to space. And you can turn Cuba into whatever you want. You can make it a vacation beach again.
Nice.
Like it was in the 22nd century.
Hell yeah.
I think it's just as simple as like they see a business opportunity.
Yeah. They're like, hey, look, you have a whole planet. Why don't you just make half of it a prison or something?
Yeah.
And they go, yeah, sure, whatever. But they're not going to do that because they don't want to waste money.
Do we find out at a certain point that the prisoners have overtaken the planet and now run it, and they've been running a charade against Earth?
Yeah, they're playing very quiet games over there, trying to figure out things.
Well, in space, nobody can hear you.
Charade?
Clue. Charade, yeah.
In space, no one can hear you. Charade. Oh, that's dumb.
Yeah, oh yeah. By design.
Yeah. So they have this planet that they're shipping just basic workers and also prisoners over there. And it turns out, I don't know, I guess like we got to ask them for like their budget or something.
What the hell is that?
What was that?
I have another window open.
Oh, nice.
My bad.
I was trying to get to a place where it's like they know that it's been kind of going down for a while, but they didn't want to say anything.
Earth does?
Well, no, the Megacorp knows.
Okay.
Like they kind of lost control of it like a couple of years ago.
Okay. So
and we just keep shipping people there.
The current administration is rebel prisoners who took over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a second act twist.
Yeah. And I guess like, I mean, I'm assuming that if the U.S. is paying Megacorp for this, they would need to show like budgets. And it's like, well, it seems like you guys aren't spending money on anything over there. Like, what's going on? It's like, okay, look, we can't lie to you guys anymore. We lost the planet.
Nonsense. We're spending money on your campaign funds.
Yeah. So every time like a ship goes to Earth 2 with either prisoners or workers, it just gets hijacked immediately, and they get put into like this new civilization, which isn't bad. It's nice over there. Would it be? Probably not.
I mean,
could it be?
Yeah, it could be.
I guess if like time dilation goes, then it would be like generations later.
I mean, I think it could just be like the third generation since the planet like showed up.
Yeah.
And the revolution took place like at the end of the second generation.
Yeah, and it was just like a rise against Megacorp, not so much like prisoners versus anybody. And they all moved to just organic, farming and sustainable living.
Yeah. They're like, we got a fresh planet here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fucking waste it.
So then the next time the planet gets close to Earth, all of our scientists look at the planet and they go, hey, shit's pretty good over there. They're doing all right. And if they come like maybe 3 or 4 more times, we're not going to have enough water, atmosphere, oxygen.
You're just killing time.
Well, I'm trying to like think of what makes the most just something that's like devastating. It's like, look, yeah, 3 more times, it's all gone.
I like that.
And then so we have like our 1%ers are the first to go.
Yes, and they get shot down.
Yeah, they get shot down. And like they're like, well, we have like billions of dollars, and they're like, we don't do money.
Earth 2 doesn't have money.
Yeah.
Doesn't do currency. There we go.
They don't do that.
We don't do currency here.
Yeah.
The hyperwave try to go over, get shot down. Earth 2 doesn't do currency. The orbital crossover window, like the time that it is like 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. But it's 2 weeks long, or is that like try to give it a limited time that it's feasible to kind of go over?
No, I like that.
Okay.
Because then you get like the super rich to go a little bit early, and they get shot down and taken, and then like the next bit of super rich people go, Oprah's first.
Mm-hmm. She's still alive.
And then Beyonce.
She's still alive. That scans.
Well, they're rich here.
Yeah, they are.
Rich here is something special in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But then the movie turns into a fish out of water.
Oh, okay.
Where all these rich people have to learn how to farm.
I think we do. I think we do 2 storylines that intersect.
Okay, I'm into that.
We do one that follows some like rich family who managed to get onto Earth 2 just before the orbital window closed.
Okay.
And we follow someone on Earth who is like, next time they get close enough to like cross over, everything's going to go to hell. We know what to expect now. Everybody's going to be gearing up for it. And then we kind of do the long-term storytelling thing where it follows them over like the next 7 years. And then
like that.
The crossover's coming.
Now,
and that's the climax of the movie.
Now, is there a point where people on Earth want Earth 1 to themselves, so they just start shooting people into space, like almost a reverse kidnapping?
I like the idea that there are some people on Earth who are like, yeah, go. Just leave us. Just go. You want to get out of here? Just go. We'll take Earth back. Like, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So, how do you think this kind of thing should end? Earth 2 just breaks apart because
it's unstable. Hold on. The next crossover in 7 years will be crazy because everybody now knows that Earth 2 is stealing atmosphere.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, just so we have the idea written down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look up. Hold on. How often do Neptune and Uranus cross? Let's see. Go on, Google. I just want a single answer.
Here we go. Solid content.
Yeah, nothing quite like listening to Dylan Google something.
Let's wait while Dylan reads a Google result page.
What's even.
What's a Dylan find?
Oh, they swapped a while ago. Pluto and Neptune swap places every 248 years.
Yeah, that's not good for us.
No, but we can shorten it.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, what if so Earth obviously goes in a circle, right, around the sun.
Yeah.
And if this other Earth is on a bit of an oval, do you think it's the kind of oval, it's like the same oval over and over again, or does it wobble a little bit?
I do like the idea of an unstable orbit around the sun.
Right, because I was thinking
now it's dealing with Earth. Yeah.
Right. So I was thinking, like the scientists are like, okay, we have like three more crossovers before Earth doesn't have enough atmosphere. So a lot of people go over there. But what happens is on the way to the third orbit, it's positioned just too close to the sun and it just gets shredded.
I really like the idea that they're like, we only have 3 or 4 rotations until Earth is going to not have enough air for everybody.
Yeah.
And another scientist is like, hey, we only have one more crossover before both of these planet like orbits degrade to the point where we both fall into the sun.
Yeah.
Or collide.
Yeah. And then there's like this, the both planets like, well, we got to kill the other planet.
Yeah.
so we can survive. But I just like it just accidentally maybe just shredding.
Yeah, no, I like that too.
So then we get all like the rich people who want a better Earth. They're off planet. It's all like, you know, I like that.
Yeah. I like that as an immediate impending disaster and then an existential one come out.
I like that. So we got to hop off of Earth 1 because Earth 1 is going away. So Earth 2 is better, but then Earth 2 just dies. So whoever's on Earth 1 is fine again.
Well, I like the idea that people are leaving Earth 1 for Earth 2 and then they don't realize, some people realize, but not everybody realizes Earth 2 is also doomed.
Yeah.
Just slightly longer. Yeah,
they're like, look, the oxygen's better, your skin's better, you live a little bit longer there, but there is a chance it's going to get ripped apart by the sun. And the rich people are like, so I live longer?
Yeah.
I look better? Okay, cool.
So I survive?
And it's like, well, it could get ripped apart by the sun, though. It's like, yeah, but...
Do we end this with every habitable planet in the 2 habitable places in the solar system getting shredded by the sun, and then humanity is just left on a bunch of, like, space stations?
It's just Matt Damon on Mars eating his own poop. And he's like, shit.
Potatoes.
I mean, I guess in this farther future, there's probably like a couple little communities that popped up occasionally.
Yeah. Maybe the moon is urbanized.
Okay.
And it settles into an orbit.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool. Would that even happen?
I don't know.
The moon probably just dripped off, right?
What happens to the moon if Earth disappears? What would happen to the moon if the Earth just disappeared? Thank you, Quora. Sometimes you have good questions.
That's true.
Moon would continue to orbit the sun. It would continue in whatever direction it was going.
All right, cool. So then we've slightly inhabited the moon, and there's a fair amount of people over there, but they're all like scientists and artists and stuff. And then they get to see both Earths destroyed.
Yeah.
And that's when the aliens come.
Sure. They're like, hey, we parked our planet around your star. Like green, a little bit of blue. Looked a lot like the one you used to live on. What happened to it?
It's like, yeah, we actually brought this planet. We bought it from a Megacorp in a different universe. It's supposed to be here though, you know.
Just scale it up. Yeah.
All right, cool. So we have a couple groups of people. We have 2 impending dooms. What else do you think we need for this? Would just be to kind of break it down into arcs and
figure out who is here, what happens to them, and what they want.
All right, cool. I think that's a good place to launch off for next time.
Yeah.
Do you think that's
I agree.
good? Okay, cool. All right. So if you have any suggestions on how this thing should go, throw them in the comments, or obviously text Dylan as always. You could just send an email to questions@somenobodies.com. But we do appreciate everyone who pays attention. We like attention. We like people listening to us. If you want to listen to more stuff we do, obviously you can go check out all the weird podcasts we make, such as Silicon Angels, a podcast show, create your own pod venture, obviously Talking Upstream. We also do No Time to Binge, award-winning. It's a weird show. We just watched the first episode and last episode of something and figure out if it's worth binging it. We just kind of make up some weird shit. Or you can check out our PowerPoint presentation where we do professional
PowerPoint Showdown?
What'd I say?
PowerPoint presentation?
We do presentations on Showdown, Dylan. You know that.
Oh, you're right.
But if you want to see any of those 2 shows before Saturday, then come go check out the Sea Snobs on before Saturday. It's Friday. I don't know why I said.
Okay. No, I got it.
But yeah, so Scene Snobs, like I said at the very beginning, the Scene Snobs is doing Cashless for a Cause. It's a 12-hour fundathon. It's for the World Central Kitchen and Sandy Hook Promise. We have 2 shows on there, but it's 12 hours of podcasting. A bunch of weird people getting together to talk and make sure that the people that need it get the money that they need. So if you got nothing to do Friday, if you have any time at all, please go check out the Scene Snobs and see what they're doing all day Friday. We're on at 2 o'clock and then again at 5:30 Eastern.
Yes.
Those last 2 shows I mentioned, No Time to Binge and PowerPoint Showdown. But if you want to be some of the people that really motivate us and help us make some more stuff, Dylan and I are finally getting together this week and filming something again. But if you want to be anybody that really just gives us a subtle push towards creativity, go over to patreon.com/Some Nobodies and help us out. We got tiers, we got stuff, but mostly it's a lot of thanks and appreciation. Red Flanagan, thank you very much for being part of our family and our community. Sarah Dukacik, Tanya Sheck, our East Coast friends. And if you want some real wild shit to listen to, just type in Jack Billings and exclude the fact that it's actually a sports person. Look for a. You ever Google Jack Billings?
No.
Yeah, do it.
Huh.
Go ahead.
All right. Right now?
Yeah, do it right now. We'll close out the show by having people listen to Dylan typing again.
JACK space BILLINGS enter.
Yeah, because Jack Billings presents all this weird shit.
An Australian rules football player.
See?
Plays
and
for
if you
St Kilda.
And if you want to know about the best, the best Australian accent and the neighbor of the person that has it, or ghosts around those people, go check out Jack Billings presents all the weird stuff.
In Australia, play American football. Cold blind. Wait. Oh.
No,
swipping back. Swipping back.
Swipping?
Swipping. That's a new word. I'm using it from now on.
We're slipping back what? Fastas? We're slipping back some fastas?
Slipping back to the Imperial accent.
All right. Until next time, guys, we are Some Nobodies. I am Zach. He is Dylan. Dylan, you got anything to say to our friends out there before we get out of here?
Nor.
Great accent. Hey, everyone, drink some water out there. I've been Zach. He's been Dylan. But you've been great. Have a great day.
See ya.
Thank you.